Questions on the table, from vision down to bottom line, we make it all more stable. Welcome to the boardroom glow, where strategy meets what you know. Clear inside every episode. Step in, let your business grow. Let your business
Email consult, and this is podcast 14 and email consult number 2, and this is a nice and simple buy strategy for you with a real world example. Okay, so let's go through the email. Hi Steve, I like this idea of email consult. Thank you. My name is Jane, not her real name. I run a private business practice in the financial services industry. Great. Now have some new opportunities that have fell in my lap. Okay. Please see my financials, balance sheet, cash flow, and profit and loss. I have an opportunity to buy 2 practices. Okay. Sounds like the universe is supporting you with your growth. Fantastic. A buy and tuck in strategy, as you suggest. I've been in business for over 7 years now and wish to grow quickly. It's very exciting and I'm enthusiastic for these opportunities. Great. A lot of positive momentum going forward, but it's my first time, so I'm sure there are some traps for young players. Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of things to look for. Can you assist me here? I'm happy with my accountants, but they're tax strategists and not really business consultants and advisors. Yeah, no problems. You have a DFP, CFP, so you can relate to my industry. Yes, as a qualified financial planner for over 10, 12, 14 years. The first business has top line of 250,000 and very secure and old practice who the owners want to retire. I know them well and trust their figures. Yeah, so one aspect is the due diligence and feasibility stage is the quality of the information. The second business has top line of just under 800,000 and the owner directors have health issues and want to sell. Yeah, so those of you who've been in business a long time, you know that you must take care of your health, fitness, and nutrition. None of them are in a rush, but say within 12 months for payment. Okay, so this is good. So it gives you time to do thorough due diligence. Number one, how do I do this? What do I look for? I have done considerable research, but would like a professional's purview. Yeah, so this is nice and easy for us. Come from this industry, done this a few times, and of course for clients. So not a problem here. What's the best way to fund this? I know you have a master's in applied finance, true, and a major in corporate finance as well as your MBA. Yep, no problems. Number 3, what are the serious risks involved? Yep, there's going to be quite a few for you. So we have to do the normal risk matrix for you for the feasibility and viability stage and due diligence stage. Number 4, what profit will I be able to pull out of this in the medium term? Okay, so we don't have all the figures, so that's going to be quite hard to do any sort of estimations from that, but we can sort of touch on it a little bit. Do I tell my staff? Do I keep it private until sale? Yeah, so this is very important for your leadership and cultural business side of your business going forward. Also, I like the idea of business mentorship. I see you've mentored 3 Telstra Business Women of the Year. Yes, true. So 2 winners and 1 runner-up, and the 2 winners contacted myself and the runner-up. She was 18 months before she became the runner-up due to our input and guidance and coaching. I would like to sign up for this. Thank you. I assume you're launching a new financial year by the dates you have mentioned. Yes, you've worked it out. Yep. What's the cost estimate? I'm in my late 30s, so I have plenty of time to build, as you say. Yep, we'll go through that at the end because you're business level 1. We're keeping it pretty simple for that. Okay, so I'll go through some snippets of our executive summary consult for you. Otherwise, we'll be here quite a while. So um, let's do that. Hi, Jane. Thank you for your email and allowing me to do this part of our podcast email consult program. Firstly, well done. Financial services is a very dynamic industry and spent over 14 years. Yeah, so financial services is very dynamic. So the rules are changing all the time. So you have to have what we call the adapter entrepreneurial trait well within your cloak or your card in your card deck. And so you're going to have some mental flexibility if you're going to operate well in that industry. So understand more than your usual trial and tribulations for this industry. Yes, of course. It's been over 14 years here. So before I sold it in my mid 30s. So let's go through the executive summary. Financial summary, your business cash flow is strong. You have minimal debt and some cash holdings. And I would say that's reserves for new opportunities. Yeah, so if it's cash flow strong, she's going to have a clean balance sheet and some good cash holdings. You have one other advisor and two administration staff, I would assume so. Okay, business one, 250,000. So this seems simple enough. What's the multiple recurring of the top line? Financial services have higher multiple than normal businesses, sub 1 million due to the nature of the industry. Top line revenue is more consistent and has more staying earnings power. So this is true. It's just the nature of the industry. Excuse me. So we need all those details as soon as possible. Send them through. For those who don't know what multiple means, it's usually a multiple profit, EBITDA, and so on. And what's the multiple of that particular financial metric that the new owner will pay and the previous owner will get. Business number two, 800,000. Firstly, you want the figures for the last 3 to 5 years first before you do anything. Absolutely. You can't do anything without proof of concept or proof of metrics, right? So they say they've got 100,000, so they're going to prove that concept that they're proposing to you that is true and with great detail. Okay, so a couple of intangible and tangible ways to approach this. You want to talk to their top five clients and also how they've placed themselves in the market compared to yourself. Are your brands similar, same, or different? The brand relationship with your clients and theirs could be different. This is very important. Yeah. So this is all about what we call psychic distance or the difference in mentality between your existing clients and customers and theirs and them merging together. If the psychic distance or expectations, brand, and evolution is too different, you might see a big loss on the top line in the first 2 years. So you need to understand that's an intangible risk, and that's called psychic distance. In other words, they do not relate to the way you do your business nor your business. And most people don't like change. And especially with their finances and money, you're going to be very careful here. Yeah, so we need to understand their revenue matrix and metrics and how it's broken down. So please send through. Yeah, so is it mainly retirees? Is it upcoming? Uh, is it millennials, and X's? And we have to make a judgment there going through that. I would seriously ask yourself: is this too big for you? Be honest. It's the bigger size that tucks in the smaller. Here, it's actually bigger than yourself. So excuse me, a larger business creates more complexity, which can bring decay. So, absolutely. So, bigger the business is, the more complex it is, the more complex it is, the more risk there are, the more risk there is, the more chance of decline or decay. So, unless you're very, very observant, not, this will be a situation where you just have one finger on the pulse, but 10 finger on 10 different pulses and you will need another 2, 3 advisors, which again unlocks many other issues as well in regards to culture, training them, and so on. And it's your first time out the gate with a buy strategy, so there's lots to learn here for you. So, in general, we see many CEOs get stuck by the concept of growth with many growing pains, and would just say easy does it if it's your first buy strategy for growth. So, one way to alleviate that is go through the process And let's see the matrix and profitable forecast. Just remember with buy, you'll increase your hours by at least 30% in the first year. So if you're working 50, 60 hours, you're going to jump to 70, 80 hours at least in the first 6, 12 months. So make sure your other side of your life is well balanced and structured. So going to juggling 10 balls rather than just 2 to 5 balls every hour. Okay, so feasibility, viability, key buying issues. Number one, so know where you want to be in 10 years. You want multiple franchises. That's the guy who bought my business had three or four, and he was managing around about 250, 300 million back then. So that would be just under nearly a billion now. So it was a lot of money he was managing. And multiple franchise, you want a complete in-house service or like accountants insurance. So have a think about where you want to be, or you want to do the entrepreneurial model, build something and sell it in 5, 7, 10 years, and then rinse and repeat. I mean, there's a lot of pathways for you. Then work backwards to only 5 years, and then we can see which dovetails or requires more crowbarring for the new business into the business, i.e., easier and streamlined fit. So, the key thing, what I'm saying here is one business might be an easy dovetail. So it just comes in and just goes, right? It'll just away you go, streamlined very quick. Crowbarring. So you've got your business operating here, think of like a cog doing well, and you bring this another piece, which is the other business, into it, and how much you have to crowbar, how much you have to adapt and change. The more adaptation, more change, a lot more risk and a lot more slowdown. So naturally, you want a dovetail versus crowbarring for a buy-in, and so that's where all the analysis, but that sort of analysis is really the more the intangibles, probably 67% rather than the tangibles, right? So it's some things that a lot of business coaches or consultants don't think about, but yeah, so it's sort of like a left field thinking, but it would save you hundreds of hours and a lot of money too if you get that right. Understand you'll be working additional 20 hours per week for the first year at least. Health and fitness and family issues. You need to take that into consideration. Otherwise, it will affect your business, and your business will affect that side of it as well of your life. Number three. Yeah, think of the brand integration, client, customers, cultural fit, psychic distance, marketing, bonding, and so forth, seminars, and all that sort of course for your business. Number four, expectations and the financial instruments and strategies the previous business employed with their clients. Are they similar to yours? You know exactly what I mean by that. Or there's a lot of cover those cultural mental makers difference, risk reverse versus say you being more aggressive with clients' assets. Yeah, so you need to be aware of that, but you know what I'm talking about with that. So you will need two separate business plans if you're still unsure at say 50, 80% of the due diligence stage. Yeah, so again, you have to do all the work up front, right? Instead of the middle of the back end. The more work you do up front, the more you save in the middle of the back end, and less mistakes and better streamlining and better start. So by doing two business plans, right, you will start to unearth all the issues, and you'll quickly see which is the better path and then the sub path for the main path for each business. And but it's a lot of work at the front, but it saves you all this time and trouble in the middle and the back end. What about in the middle and the back end is a year, 2, 3 years down the path, right? We would recommend do a marketing plan extensively with your business plan that will flesh out and we can do for you. Yeah, so you would definitely want a marketing plan for the integration process of the new business coming into your business. So you'll need to do all those metrics, how you're going to market, how you're going to bring them in, and so forth. And that needs to be very detailed and thoughtful, and how you're going to do that integration process very well. Okay, so subsets by strategies. Now, I've never talked about this on our blogs or vlogs, so I just want to cover off on this quickly. So, under the buy strategy, you can do, say, 2 or 3 subset strategies within the buy strategy. Like, so here's our buy strategy, and you get subsets, like substrata steps from here. So, the first one we call trim the fat strategy. Okay, you could employ subset strategy by number one, trim the fat strategy. You could employ this is bundle up the excess clients after a year and sell them to a younger and upcoming advisor where you were 7 years ago. So you get some capital back, and that's nice and simple and easy. Number two subset, master and apprentice strategy. So you can bring in the apprentice depending on your long-term tenure plan and train them up on those particular clients and customers, or get them to run their own business. You get equity from the clients, and you've got now equity in that, and they've got their new business. Or you can do the wait and see and decay tactic, which is you just sit and watch what happens, and you see how they fold into your organization. And some will just, it was either slowly decay, right? Just the average group. Okay, they'll just, or they'll integrate and go nowhere, or they'll go up depending on if you can grow your business with them with new products and services. So those are the three subsets by strategies, which I haven't talked about on any of our blogs or vlogs, and just adding a little bit of spice and sauce for your tactics within your business. Now, those are actually like blue ocean strategies, but they're small, micro, but classic blue ocean for you um, to consider. Number eight, also, you can test new innovative pricing models on these clients, say 100 of 1,000 clients, and run a new test case for it. Yeah, so this is another blue ocean strategy. It's internal to external. That's the process. So you take 100 of these clients, we come up with a new and innovative pricing model, and we can use them as a test run for your business. And if it works well, then we can run it through the whole organization and completely remodel your financial model within your business model. So there's a bit of few opportunities there for you, Jane, not your real name, through the concept of innovating pricing and pricing structure. Yep, yep. And actually, I did that with my first company, and it was a hit. So, yeah. Number nine, we'll need to see your personal financial situation, as this will assist as the best financial structure pricing for you in the purchase. Yeah, so we'll have to see your personal balance sheet and so on. Then we can assess the best way for funding, and do you do a personal loan to the business, and or use home loan rates or versus retail business rates, which are usually 400 basis points, and obviously we prefer not to go the most expensive way for you. Can profit you'll pull out will have so many variants, and we don't have enough information as yet. Suffice it to say, you want to purchase under 50 cents for business one, around 75 cents for the second one as a sub 1 million. So EBIT, yeah, multiples of EBIT, EBITDA, not profit, is usually for bigger companies, and we can do proper valuations for you. I won't go into detail for business valuations. Suffice it to say, everyone needs to understand the difference between true value, market price valuing, and industry price valuing. And usually there's the three that go into a bigger matrix, and each of those three have their own variants. So it's like one, two, three, and then one, two, three of the one, right? And then they come down into one figure, and that's proper business valuation for the primary market, not the secondary market. The secondary market is the stock exchange, right? So, and that takes different valuations like EBIT, EBITDA, and so forth. And probably we need all your finances. Yeah. So yeah, number 11, don't tell your staff anything until after due diligence process and business planning and feasibility evaluation process, even then only after signing off just before. Yeah, don't rock the boat. Don't make it harder for yourself. Make it easier. Yes, their input is invaluable, but it can cause uncertainty, fears, and doubts, and destabilize and distract you from high focus on the due diligence stage. Don't rock the boat with wins that haven't been seen yet, i.e., you agree to the deal. So best not to say anything until you're 99% or you've signed it. Obviously, it's your business and do what you want, and you'll know your people and how mostly they might react. But you could take it forearmed. Forewarned is forearmed, and the opposite of that same coin is don't rock the boat yet. Okay, so point 12, we can't really recommend till we have the figures gone through the due diligent feasibility phase, and generally And in principle, as it's your first and you're young, we say smaller the better for your first buy strategy. True, just easy does it. Right? If you've been in business for over 30 years and so forth, for those who are in their 50s and 60s watching this podcast or reading this, yeah, they would 99% agree. Easy does it if it's your first. If it's your fifth, right? Then you know 90% of all the risks and what to do and how to do it well. Just as your first, just take it easy. And the smaller the better for your first buy strategy, as you can learn all the skills of integration expansion without much risk. That's right. So you get a lot of the intangibles with the lower pricing, therefore lower risk, because it's not as complex to integrate the business into yours. You will learn a lot, which is great. And yes, I've done my own tuck-in strategies, external ones, reverse tuck-ins. Yeah, so done little tiny ones and been on the sideline and watched some big ones as well as recommended and help clients with their own. 13, yes, I have mentored 3 Telstra Business Women of the Year, and you're right, we are launching. Yeah. So I've mentored 2 winners, 2 Telstra Business Women of the Year who contacted us, and one who was 18 months out and then became runner up because of our input and help. And you are right, we are launching, yeah, so in new financial year 26-27, launching the mentoring partnership program. Yeah, the first 5, 10 I'll be doing myself. So yes, the first 5 or 10 I'll be doing that myself. And the pricing matrix, we've kept it pretty simple, and it would look like $500 to $1,000 for fortnightly or weekly consults with 3 months in advance. So nice and simple for sub 1 million businesses, business level 1. And this is mentoring and not consulting. So you have to work out your needs and requirements. Yeah. So what I've just done is really mentoring. Okay. Just in that consult, it's really mentoring, giving you general guidance with some specific consulting. It's where we go in and we take it all apart, right? And put it back together and look at the new landscape that we can create within what you're currently in. And then we go through that process, and you can do it yourself after that. We can do it with you, or we can do a lot of it for you. And that's really the subtle difference from that mentoring and consulting. Yeah, so you may want to consult and the mentoring program for the first 3-6 months, then switch to our mentoring program once everything has settled in. Yeah, so that would be ideal for you. Have us come in and make sure everything's settled, and then we can take a little bit more of a step back. So our role is to support, complement, synergize, unlock and unleash your higher potential, and you have 2 opportunities to accelerate this process. Yeah, well done. So that's how we see ourselves for organizations. We don't normally talk about subset buy strategies like spin-offs or master and apprentice and wait and see and decay, but we thought you may like it as it might stimulate the more entrepreneurial side of yourself. Yeah, so we want to add a little bit extra value for you because it's a consult. And thanks for contacting us, and thanks for reaching out, and welcome to Start. Yeah, so thanks everyone, and we'll see you again. And send us your email for an email consult and let us know if you're happy to be on the podcast. We won't mention names, but obviously we need the accurate figures. So have a good day.
Early mornings, open minds, questions on the table, from vision down to bottom line, we make it all more stable. Welcome to the boardroom glow, where strategy meets what you know. Clear inside every episode. Step in, let your business grow. Let your business grow. Real talk, real change. Leaders sharing game from